Hello everyone, it's Junie checking back in with all of you. This time we're going to look at the heartbreaking case of Abby and Libby, the Delphi murders, which happened in Delphi, Indiana. Right now, Richard Allen is on trial. The trial is happening right now. He is fighting for his freedom. Many of you believe that Richard Allen is not guilty, that he was set up, that he was forced into some type of confession. Some of you believe that it's Ron Logan, the other gentleman that passed away. Many of you think that he's innocent. All of you are entitled to your own opinions, as am I entitled to my own opinions about Richard Allen. I have an astrological opinion as well. The bullet was a match when they did the tool markings on the bullet. They had two examiners. One examiner did not know about the other examiner's report, and both of them confirmed that it came from Richard Allen's gun. Another thing, he admits being there. He admits being on the bridge. There's just so many things that show up logically to me, but on an astrological level, I see him as well on the charts, and I'm going to try my best to explain that to you and break it down so you can see it on the charts as well. Again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion about how they feel about Richard Allen. It is not my job to say that he is guilty or to say that he's a murderer or anything like that. It is just my job to show you what the astrology is trying to communicate with us, and then you guys make your own decision, okay? There's a certain house in astrology that rules murder and death, rape, and things of that nature. It's the 8th house. I pulled up an asteroid by the name of Richard, and yes, during the times of the crime and during the time that he admits to being in that area, he is showing up in the 8th house, and he goes into the 7th house, which rules the killer. So the 7th and the 8th house tells us a lot about our killer. It tells us that the killer is up high because, why? We have them in Aquarius. It also tells us that Aquarius rules railroad bridges too. Jupiter is another thing that can indicate something higher, a bigger bridge, right? Something higher, something elevated. Aquarius also rules things that are elevated. It also tells us that our killer was up to no good. And so the 7th and the 8th house describes a lot about the murder, the environment that the killer was in, what our killer is going to look like. And it also, when we go over to the AC line, which is the victim side shows us a lot as well. One, that they left a home, that they were with family, with people that they were close to. They're showing up in Cancer. That's also emotions. That's also a water sign. And that these two girls, I feel, truly felt like family. I also have Castor and Pollux show up directly over top of the girls' heads. Now, this is how amazing astrology is. This is how astrology talks to us. Astrology is letting us know that these two girls are connected. They have a special bond, and that they're like twins. Vesta is in the middle of them. One twin outshines the other. Was this killer attracted to one more than the other? That's very possible, because with Castor and Pollux, one star is brighter than the other. And if anybody is familiar with twins, they probably will agree with me. There's always one twin that outshines the other. There's always one twin that seems to get more attention than the other. And this was the case for Abby and Libby. What I also am seeing is that Vesta the Virgin is there as well. So two girls that are virgins. And, there's a whole story about Vesta as well, how their whole story and mythology as well. But this is definitely letting me know the first house describes a lot about the victims, what the victims are going to look like. And the astrology is letting me know that these two girls are twins in with the relationship with each other. And Castor and Pollux, one twin was injured and the other twin could not live without them, and wanted to die with their brother, wanted to die with their because they could not live without the other, and wouldn't leave their side. So Zeus put them in the heavens to be together forever. So when you see Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, in the night sky, you can think of Abby and Libby, because this truly was over top of their head when they were murdered. These two stars represented them, and I'm sure their love and their connection and how loyal they were to each other is showing up in the heavens. And you can think of Abby and Libby and say a little prayer for them. And when you see those stars, you can think of them, because it represented them at the time of their murders. And I just want to leave you with that. That's one beautiful thing to this, is that they are together forever in heaven. And the astrology is letting us know that as well. Okay, so as we follow the chart, as each hour goes by, we have Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins, and Vesta the Virgin, that describes our victims going into the house of sorrows, going into the house of endings, okay? And that is when our AC line turns into Leo the Sun. When they are being ruled by Leo the Sun is directly over into the killer's house, which is the 7th house. And look what's right next to the Sun. I have Richard in the 7th house that rules an open enemy, rules killers in astrology. Not saying that he's a killer. I'm just saying in astrology, the 8th and the 7th house rule the areas that the killer controls. Okay, usually is where we see the killer. An open enemy of some sort to the victims. Their ruling planet is right on top of Richard. It's only 1 degree apart. That is an extremely tight orb. I would have to say he's directly in front of their face at this time, that he would be in direct contact with them. That's the only way that I can describe it to you. Another thing that describes Richard Allen to me on an astrological level is the fact that the sun at one point is next to his asteroid earlier in the day, which lets me know that he's an older man, that he's older than 29 years old. Also, that he's going to play it off like he's some type of an authority, or he's going to take an authoritative role when he approaches them. He also has Capricorn ruling him as well. Capricorn, it's very explicit how they explain a Capricorn killer. They have a long, lean face, a thin face with beady, small, round eyes. They can have a beard or a mustache. There is something about their lips as well, something about their teeth, but their bone structure and the way that they walk, they will have a certain limp or a certain walk that's attached to them. So you're looking for a killer that has possibly bone issues of the knee, bone issues of the legs. Capricorn does rule the knees and your bones. Your skeletal system is Capricorn. And the long, lean face, they can have blonde hair. They can be kind of greedy, always thinking that they deserve more. They want to be rich, but, they have big goals, big dreams. They want to be rich, but they don't seem to ever really accomplish that as far as looking as an enemy. Remember, we're doing crime. We're not looking at regular astrology here. I'm looking at a criminal being ruled by Capricorn, okay? And having characteristics like the sun and Capricorn. So, yeah, there's certain things about Richard Allen that really stand out to me on an astrological level. That's just my own opinion. I do feel that law enforcement has the right man, but that's just my own opinion. And I wanted to show you where he is at on the astrology. He's not in a very good position. However, that does not mean that he's the killer. It just means that the astrology is putting him there, directly in front of the girl's face, multiple times. And he's sitting in the houses that rule the killer. And Capricorn describes him a long, lean, thin face, small, round, beady eyes, a blonde, grayish mustache, blondish hair, taking like an authority role, someone who's older, and someone that might have knee issues or bone structure issues and have a weird walk. This all, describes Richard Allen in my own personal opinion. Again, that's just my own personal opinion. Does not mean that it's fact. Please form your own opinions and come to your own conclusions. This is just mine. I just wanted to show you where he was at. keep praying for Abby and Libby that they get justice. They deserve justice. And in my opinion, I believe he's the bridge guy. That's just my own opinion, though. All right. Blessings to all of you. Keep praying. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye now.